Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Nick. We're here today with Nick Diehl, the Executive Director of the Eastern West Virginia Regional Airport. So, thank you, Nick.
Thank you for having me.
So, would you explain a little bit more about the airport?
Of course, we are a regional airport. We are a general aviation airport, and we are also the largest and the second busiest airport in the state of West Virginia. We've been around 100 years. So we're also the oldest airport in the state of West Virginia, and we are very active in the aviation community here locally and regionally. We have aircraft here from West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and the entire Quad State area. And our largest tenant here is the 167th Airlift Wing. They are a great partner to us, and we're thankful for them, especially on snow days when we have to plow a big runway. They do that for us. So
It is the largest runway in the state of West Virginia.
that is correct. And we're actually the largest runway in the region. So and it was built for C5s. So C5 was the largest aircraft in the Air Force inventory, and now we have C-17s, which are a little bit smaller, but they're still quite large. And so they utilize the runway, about 12% of the time, and then the other 88% are all private aircraft and business aircraft and folks that are just coming to the area. And so we have expanded over the years. We have a little over 1,000 acres of property. We have about 700 of that is used specifically for aviation purposes. Then the rest of it is used for various other things. We started as Shepherd Field 100 years ago. Then the city of Martinsburg wanted to have the airport under their purview, and so it became the Martinsburg Airport back in the 50s. And the city of Martinsburg is actually responsible for bringing in the 167th Airlift Wing. They petitioned the feds and the state to be able to have the airlift wing here, and so we were very glad that they did that. In the 70s, they began to realize that it was a pretty large undertaking just for the city to be able to maintain the airfield, and so they talked to the county, and the county incorporated themselves into the mix back in the early 70s, and that's when we became the Eastern West Virginia Regional Airport Authority, and that's when we started really trying to bring in some additional business to this airport. So today we have about 24 businesses on the field, and most of them are small businesses, but we're working on that.
Mm. Well, that's amazing. And, as you're talking about bringing in new businesses, I know you have a extensive background in economic development. So, how does that relate to your position here?
Well, on the surface, people will think that an airport is just simply somewhere that people fly in and out of. But in reality, we have about a $325 million impact annually on the city of Martinsburg and the surrounding area. We are we're obviously a hub for any kind of aviation activity in this general vicinity, but we are able to provide a runway here so that companies, like Procter and Gamble and Macy's and some of the other larger big box industries in the area can fly their corporate jets in here. We are able to attract aviation related businesses that need to be at an airport, and that's very helpful to have the kind of developable land that we have here. And in addition to that, we also provide quite a bit of security here so that Department of Defense contractors and other companies that need that added level of security feel comfortable having a business here at MRB, which is our call sign, by the way. MRB is just like if Dulles is AID, and then of course Baltimore, Washington, BWI. So we are MRB.
BCA.
And BCA, yep, Reagan, yep. And so we're able to attract not just business prospects for the greater area, but also business prospects for the airport here. And we're working on some things now that'll help us to be able to attract larger businesses.
Cool. That's great. So, what are your future plans?
Well, our future plans, speaking of larger businesses, we are working to attract a large MRO here. And an MRO is a maintenance facility for larger aircraft. So, for example, if you've flown on United or American or any of the other airlines, they have to be serviced occasionally, and so they go to MROs to be serviced, and then other aircraft come to MROs to do that. But we've had an issue in the past attracting an MRO or attracting a large cargo carrier or folks like that, because the first question they ask is, where does our workforce come from? How do we access workers that have experience or have some certification in the aviation industry? So that's something we've struggled with historically.
Right. So that's really important, the educational piece to, um, you know, learning all those skills and things that they need in order to work on the airplane. So I know that as of February 1st, there is a new school in partnership with Marshall, Blue Ridge, and Shepherd. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, if I can go back just for a minute, excuse me. Bravo Flight Training is our local flight school that's in the area here. They train people from the local community on how to fly. About 3 years ago, we worked with Shepherd University, and now Shepherd University, in partnership with Bravo Flight Training and MRB, they offer an aviation concentration with their business administration degree. And so that's been huge for us to be able to have that on the field here. Now we are going to have Marshall University Flight School, Marshall University's Bill No Flight School on the field, and they opened on February 1st, and they're going to be providing also flight training to whoever is interested. And we also are working with them on some other things. So we hope by the end of the year, we're going to see Marshall University here in a much bigger way with their degree programs and things like that. And then we're also working with Blue Ridge Community Technical College to provide aviation maintenance training on the field here as well. And so we'll have three schools here. We'll have three schools of higher education here, plus Bravo flight training. And that's going to be huge for us, because when we do go and talk to potential businesses like MROs, and they say, where is our entry level employee going to come from? I no longer have to say, well, there's a school in Maryland, there's a school in Pennsylvania. I can say, we have a school right here on site that's going to be able to provide those for you. And that's what we need to be able to attract those larger MROs and those larger businesses on our field.
Absolutely. So how can students in the area get more information about that?
We're in the process of working with all three schools now to come up with a little more streamlined approach to be able to refer students to one of the three schools. For now, if students are interested, and they go to our website, which is flymrb.com, and we will refer their information to one of the schools until such time as we have all of that streamlined on our website, which we hope is going to be within the next month or so.
Yeah, that's great. I think, creating educational opportunities for children, especially since we are so close to, BWI and IAD, there is a lot of opportunities there.
And there really are. One of the things that we have here is if you train to be a commercial pilot at our field, you're going to be able to find a job as a commercial pilot in the industry within an hour or so drive of here. We have 12 commercial airports within 90 miles of MRB, and they're all hiring. There are businesses on our field that also hire commercial pilots, and so there are plenty of opportunities for them to find jobs there. And then when you look at aviation maintenance, there are loads of jobs in the aviation maintenance field, especially at some of the larger airports. And as you move in toward Martinsburg, some of the even mid-size or smaller airports have lots of maintenance jobs, and we do too. And so, as we continue to grow and as we continue to add more business here, those people will be able to live here, train here, and work here. As of right now, they'll be able to still work somewhere in the immediate community and still be able to sleep in their own beds here in Berkeley County at night.
I know there's many events that the airport will host. I know that the fireworks was a huge success. So would you like to tell us about all the events and things that you're a part of?
Absolutely. We've so last year we did the our Independence celebration. We did we did an air show last year. We did a we did a Santa visit. It's at Christmas time. We've done pancake breakfasts for our pilots and local people in the local community, and we continue to do those sorts of things this year. We are going to have the Independence celebration on June the 29th this year, and we have a big announcement coming up with that this week, we think. And so we'll be able to really kick that off within the next week or two. That's going to be much larger, likely, than it has been in years past. So we're excited about that. Um, we are working on some other spring events that we're going to be doing, smaller events this year, and then we will be hosting a fall event as well to try to encourage young people to come out and experience aviation for some for the first time and get a better understanding of what kind of jobs are available in the aviation field. The nice thing is when and I go back to jobs for a minute, because when you're looking at jobs in the aviation community, they're almost all of them are in demand jobs, and they pay very well. And so there are some really good jobs in that field. And so our focus moving forward is going to be aviation education. And even with our foundation, the MRB Foundation, that's our primary focus, is to introduce people to the field of aviation in any way that we can.
There is a huge need for pilots.
Yes, huge need for pilots, huge need for maintenance, for aviation maintenance folks, and for other types of jobs in the aviation industry that we hadn't really even thought of. So we're excited to be able to offer some of that. Exactly. Yep, and we do that not just in a vacuum, but we do it, with partners like the city of Martinsburg and the Berkeley County Commission and the Berkeley County Development Authority and other great organizations in our region. We all work together to make this a better place to live.
And working together, we're also a part of the Berkeley County Development Authority as well as the MRB Airport and um, Morgan County, Jefferson County Development Authority, as well as Hampshire County. We're all in, it was formerly WestPEP, which is now the Eastern West Virginia Economic Alliance. And, our whole goal is to uplift and promote, our area. And we do that as a group, a collective.
Yes, we do. Yep. And I think we all work very well together to support one another. And it's really been a pleasure being at the airport and seeing how much collaboration that we have, not just in Berkeley County and the city of Martinsburg, but in the whole region with Jefferson County, Morgan County, and to a little lesser degree Hampshire County, because they are a little farther away from us than some of the others. But
there's a lot of great things happening, and it's nice to be able to highlight our region for sure.
Yeah, and we do our best to do that. We have a crew car here, so when people fly in, if they're going to be here just for the day, or they're going to be here for a few hours or whatever, we always give them the keys and say, "Hey, why don't you drive up into town, see what's going on? There's some great places to shop, great places to eat," and so we try to push our local economy as much as we can.
And just going back to the flight school, I know that even if you didn't want to, take the class, you're welcome to just go up in an airplane.
Yep, they do discovery flights. Actually, Bravo Flight Training does discovery flights, and Marshall University will also be doing discovery flights. And you can go up. They'll spend about 30 minutes with you, explaining to you how airplanes work, how they get their lift, how they fly and land, and how they operate. And then they'll take you up and show you. And so it's a pretty neat program, and it's a great opportunity to see if you even like flying. If you've never been and you're not sure. So
Well, thank you very much, Nick, for joining me today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to hear all the great things that the Eastern West Virginia Regional Airport is doing, and we appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you very much. We are excited to be part of this community and appreciate all that you all do too.
Thank you.